The time is now 9 a.m. The date is October the 7th, 2025. We will have our invocation of pledge of allegiance by Councilmember Tangi Johnson.
Let us bow our heads. Most heavenly and gracious Father, we thank you for this morning. We thank you for this day, but most importantly, we thank you for being God of us all. Lord God, we ask the Heavenly Father that you give us wisdom on this morning. We ask that you give us clarity, dear Heavenly Father, as we make decisions. Let it be sound and let it be within your glory, God. We give you all honor, glory, and praise. For us in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we're going on to agenda item 3, which is recognitions and public presentations. Our first presentation is agenda item 3A, presentation of a proclamation honoring Michelle Smith Blank and Kids World Learning Center on the occasion of their 20 years of service. I want to read this and then we'll have you guys come forward. A proclamation by the Mayor and City Council of Statesboro, Georgia, honoring Michelle Smith Blank and Kids World Learning Center on the occasion of 20 years of service. Whereas early childhood education lays the foundation for lifelong learning, social, emotional well-being, and community strength. And whereas Michelle Smith Blank, owner and director of Kids World Learning Center in Statesboro, Georgia, has devoted 2 decades to nurturing, educating, and championing the children and families of our community. And whereas since acquiring in 2005, Kids World Learning Center has provided a safe, inclusive, and developmentally rich environment that fosters curiosity, kindness, and readiness for school, serving families from diverse backgrounds with excellence and care. And whereas under the leadership of Michelle Smith Blank, Kids World Learning Center has prioritized family partnerships, age-appropriate curricula, professional development for educators, and practices that promote health, safety, literacy, and play-based learning. And whereas the center's staff, supported, mentored, and inspired by Ms. Blank, has consistently modeled compassion and professionalism, contributing to positive outcomes for children and strengthening the fabric of our community. Whereas Michelle Smith Blank's commitment to high standards, continuous improvement, and community service has elevated early learning in Statesboro and set an example for providers across our region. Whereas October the 1st, 2025 marks the 20th anniversary of Kids World Learning Center service in our community. Now, therefore, I, Jonathan McCullough, Mayor of the City of Statesboro, on behalf of the entire City Council, does hereby proclaim October 1st, 2025 as Kids World Learning Center Day and Michelle Smith Blank Appreciation Day. In Statesboro, and call upon residents and organizations and educators to join me and recognize the profound contributions of Michelle Smith Blank and the dedicated team at Kids World Learning Center to the children and their families of our community. Dated the 7th day of October, 2025. Michelle, you got to come forward. I'm going to give you an opportunity to sit along and we'll take a picture.
Okay, well, thank you so much for this honored day. Actually, our 20th year was October the 1st, and we celebrated with our families on Friday. If you come down Savannah Avenue anytime between 7:30 and 7:45, you know we have a lot of families. We serve 200 children every single day. And it's just an honor to be a staple and something that is reliable here in Statesboro as a small business owner and as a champion for children. And I advocate at the state level and I advocate for at our city level for quality childcare, and that's what we stand for. So thank you so much.
Good to see you. Don't come back.
Okay.
Come here, let's get your team in with the council. Council.
Do you want just the two of you while we're waiting?
You want them all down there? We're gonna take this one and then we'll bring everybody.
1, 2, 3.
All right, my family.
That's right.
I've got my mom, my daughter, my son, and our office manager, Kashanti.
That's right. Come on. Are we balanced?
I think so. Would you counsel me to step back like just a little? Yep. Yep, that works. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's good.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
It's right there now before you get on highway. Thank you.
All right, we'll go down to agenda item 3B, a proclamation by the mayor and city council of Statesboro, Georgia, honoring October 2025 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Whereas the crime of domestic violence violates an individual's privacy, dignity, security, and humanity due to systemic use of physical, emotional, sexual, psychological, and economic control and/or abuse. And whereas domestic violence leaves an imprint of fear and hostility, and whereas the problems of domestic violence are not confined to any group or groups of people, but across all economic, racial, affectional preference, and social barriers. From fear in our homes, and whereas the City of Statesboro Council is committed to restoring the right of freedom from fear in our communities. Whereas in our quest to impose sanctions on those who break the law by perpetrating violence, we must also meet the needs of victims of domestic violence and their children, who often suffer grave financial, physical, and psychological losses. And now therefore be it resolved that in recognition of the important work done by domestic violence programs in cooperation with Safe Haven, I, Jonathan McCullough, Mayor of the City of Statesboro, on behalf of the entire City Council, does hereby proclaim the month of October 2025 Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We urge all citizens, agencies, and businesses to work together as a team in our community through prevention, intervention, and education programs to eliminate domestic violence and become violence-free community. Dated the 7th day of October, 2025.
Yes, sir. On behalf of Safe Haven, I would just like to say thank you so very much on recognizing such an important month to us and doing so much work in the community. Safe Haven's mission is to serve, strengthen, and support victims of domestic violence. And we do that through operating a 24/7 crisis line, offering emergency housing programs, getting protective orders, and just so much more. We help men, women, children, and pets that are affected by domestic violence. Last year, we answered over 5,000 crisis calls on our crisis line, and we assisted over 699 individuals across our program. So thank you so very much for recognizing this month and the work that we do in our community.
Thank you. Congratulations.
One, two, three.
Michelle's on our board.
I'm a board member.
She's busy in the community.
1, 2, 3. No, council.
Stay right there. All right. Come on, John. John.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Congratulations. We'll move down to agenda item 4, public comments in regards to the agenda. Do we have anyone signed up for public comments in regards to the agenda?
No, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you. We'll move down to agenda item 5, consideration of a motion to approve the consent agenda. The consent agenda includes the approval of our minutes from our September the 16th work session, council minutes, and executive session, as well as agenda item 5B, consideration of a motion to approve a deed to secure debt with the United States Department of Commerce Economic Development Administration for the city campus phase 3 property at 64 East Main Street. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we want to go back to agenda item 6. It's a public hearing and first reading of ordinance 2025-10, an ordinance updating and replacing Article 6 of Chapter 18 of the Statesboro Code of Ordinance for massage establishments. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, Kane, if you will, give us some insight on that.
Of course, Mayor and Council, this is brought before y'all, our current massage ordinance dates from 1994. Since then, there's been a wholesale change in state law. So this revision is to just reflect current state laws and practices. We've gone over this a couple times at work session. And we've also gone over we've also had meetings with stakeholders on this, and based on those meetings, we made adjustments to the ordinance. But if y'all have any questions, but I'm here, but it's really just so we can update it. It gives us the right to license, regulate, and sanction massage establishments. And that's what we're trying to get done here.
All right, thank you, Kane. All right, is there anyone here to speak for this request? Is there anyone here to speak against this request? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we want to open this up for council discussion. Any discussion by council?
Kane, you said, that we can regulate and sanction. Are those regulations, are they state regulations, or are they ones that we can?
But we have some that are city specific. We have very limited realms in which we have local option.
Sure.
But whatever, it's violations of any state or local regulation go before our administrative judge for a hearing.
Okay, and, all of the industry parties, all good with it?
We hadn't heard anything since we made those revisions that they asked for.
Gotcha. Yes, sir.
At the last meeting, we had, Divine in,
Divine.
and some of the concerns that they, mentioned sort of goes back to, when we had the old massage parlor ordinance. And in the ordinance that we had prepared, so they're okay, that, I think that's why they're not getting back to, we did.
They'll be back in 2 weeks if they're not.
That's right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anything further from council? Seeing that there was none, is there a motion to vote to approve and move forward?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Let's move to agenda item 7, which is a public hearing and first reading of ordinance 2025-11, an ordinance amending chapter 18 of the Statesboro Code of Ordinances by adding our Article 14 for salons. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Mayor and Council, again, this is brought before y'all in a similar vein as This is the massage parlor or the massage establishment. However, this is for hair and nail salons and all cosmetology and barbering type businesses in the city. What we would do here is also create a legal framework to license, and regulate and sanction these businesses. There is baseline state law, but we do have additional city-specific parameters in there. And this is just brought for you all for first reading. If you have any questions.
Thank you, Ken. All right, is there a motion, is there anyone here to speak for this request? Is there anyone here to speak against this request? All right, seeing that there's none, is there a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, let's open this up for council discussion. Any discussion by council?
Mayor, may I ask, were the salon owners notified when we had the public hearing about, this is kind of combined together, so they've had an opportunity for input?
Yes.
When we had the stakeholder meeting, we had 2 meetings. We had one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and representatives from the salon industry were at both meetings, and they had input in that.
Good, thank you.
Anything else for the council? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to vote to move the ordinance forward?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll put on to agenda item 8, consideration of a motion to approve resolution 2025-30, a resolution adopting the 2025 strategic plan for the city of Statesboro. Mr. Petty.
Mayor, members of the council, Justin is here, but I won't call on. You've had a presentation at the work session on our strategic plan, and the Coastal Regional Commission prepared the strategic plan for us. We are required to redo our strategic plan every 5 or so years, and so that's where we are at this point. And basically what this does, it allows us to stand back and take a broad view of our community, and we did a SWOT analysis and looked at what our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats are to our community. And good input. I think we did a survey, online survey, and basically this sets out our path for the next 5 years. It also looks at our capital improvement plan, how we plan to spend the SPLOST dollars and our T-SPLOST dollars, and how we just plan to improve our community. But we got input from our citizens as part of this process. So if we don't adopt our strategic plan, we may put ourselves in jeopardy when it comes to getting certain funds. And so this morning, we do recommend approval of the strategic plan. And I read through it last night, and I think it's fairly comprehensive. And it's interesting when you look at the strengths, the weaknesses, and opportunities and the threats. And I'll just mention this because this has been big in our community. One of our weaknesses, we have good infrastructure inside the city limits, and the council has made the decision about how we expand our infrastructure and really dealing with natural growth. Where the challenge becomes is as we go beyond the city limits, being able to extend infrastructure, because honestly it's quite costly. But it's something for the future of the community we really do need to look at. And that's water, sewer, but it's also natural gas. And it just simply say to you this morning that we're in discussions right now about how we expand our natural gas system, because as the capacity that we have for our natural gas system, we really are right there. And for the future of industrial development, we really are going to have to look at how we can expand that so that we don't get in a position that we cannot add more industry to our community, and thus limit the number of jobs that we can bring into the city. But sir, Mayor, members of the council, we recommend approval of the strategic plan.
All right, thank you, Mr. Penny. Any discussion by council?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Penny, I read it through last night too, and I agree. It reads nicely and it sounds really good. And I was pleased to see things specifically mentioned about paths, walking trails, greenways, more accessibility for folks to connect across town. We've heard the folks who were saying that's important and continue to work towards it. So it's good to see it written out, and that's part of the aim. As well as, of course, the urban redevelopment, housing, so many important things to be working on.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot.
Any further discussion by council? All right, seeing that there is no motion to approve,
So moved.
is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we move down to agenda item 9, consideration of a motion to approve an award of contract for banking services to Truist for 5 one-year contracts. Mr. King.
Mayor, members of the council, I'd like to introduce to you Ricardo Corneo, who's our representative from our financial advisor, Davenport, and he's going to present the recommendations to you, Mayor.
Very good. Good morning, Mayor, Council, staff. Thank you very much. As Mr. Penny said, my name is Ricardo Corneo. I am with Davenport, and we are the city's financial advisor. As you recall, at the last work session, my colleague Doug Gephardt gave an overview of the whole process of how we went through, starting from getting together with staff, finding out what was important to staff, the entire financial staff group putting together, and then the RFP, and then sending it out, and then at the various local banks, allowing them on May 8th to come in and go through the whole process of what is the banking process here in the city. It gave them a very fair shot of how to answer their RFP. After the RFP came through, we also then did an analysis and selected banks to do the online presentation. From that online presentation is what we have here as a recommendation from not only Davenport, but in consideration with staff, that Truist be awarded the contract for various reasons. One, their personnel, government, bankers, treasury, and your local presidents are here. They have several perks that they're giving the city. Many of them are waiving fees. Many of them are giving free supplies to the city for the entire contract. As far as their scope of work and the ability to do the work that the city needs, they've actually elevated that because of their innovations in technology. Again, they're also doing many things for the employees of the city. They will obviously do all the checking that's free, but also they're going to do some sort of financial literacy for any of the individuals who would like to go through that. As far as fees, always important, all of them of the banks, and you had many who wanted business here at the city, did very well with what they were giving you as far as your earnings credit, which allows you to pay for your banking side and also your interest rates. But theirs were above most of theirs, of the competitors, and also allowed you all to, if you wanted to, go to Georgia Fund 1 that is paying basically more than any banks out there, including Truist, but they gave you that option. So with that, I will entertain any questions. Again, it was a very thorough process that took many, many months. Staff was extremely involved in all of this, and we went through this process, making it as fair for all the banks, all the local banks to be involved.
Thank you. Anything from council? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, Council.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. We move down to agenda item 10, consideration of a motion to donate a 2010 Fireblast Mobile Live Fire Simulator to the Polk.
Practice burning training in that simulator. However, we had not used that simulator in a number of years, and the technology actually is out of date. And so we checked with our partner, DG Tech, and they are fine with us making this available to another community, and they will incur the expense of coming to get the simulator and also updating it. Right now, when it comes to training our firefighters, We have a fire training ground, we have a burn building there. And so based on that, we just have a piece of equipment sitting, taking up space behind the fire station. And so this morning, Chief Tim wanted to see if we could make that space available for other purposes, but also provide this piece of equipment to another community that is willing to invest to upgrade the technology.
Thank you, Mr. Penny. Any discussion by staff, by council?
Happy to hear we can share what we can use, make it better somewhere else.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. All right, is there a motion to approve? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we move on to agenda item 11, consideration of a motion to approve a change order with HD Construction in the amount of $132,948 on the ENG-122C East Main Street, East Main Drainage and Sidewalk Project to be funded by T-Splosh and GDOT in Italy. Mr. Penny.
Mayor, members of the council, I don't know that I can share a lot more with you on this. This is a big project. And obviously, when you design a project of this nature, you hope that you get everything covered. But as you get to the field, you run into things like having to relocate hydrants and things of that nature. Some of the drainage work, believe me, if you go over there and talk to some of the residents, I think they're really happy. But if you remember, we had to close that street because of the big drainage ditch that ran right up beside folks' houses. But if you go there now, that has been addressed. And so this change order is necessary to make sure the job, most of the work has probably already been done. We just need to pay for it. So we recommend approval of the change order.
Thank you, Mr. Penny. Any discussion on the council?
It does look good.
It does.
Much better.
It does. Yeah. All right, with that being said, is there a motion to approve? So there's a second. All those in favor? Aye. All right, we'll go down to agenda item 12. Consideration of a motion to approve a contract with Parker Engineering for engineering design services for ENG-122Q Stockyard Road Sidewalk and Drainage Improvement Projects in the amount of $67,000 to be funded by T-Splosh. Mr. Penny, anything you can add to that?
I was just gonna say, I thought this day would never come.
Okay. Okay.
We're pleased, Mayor and Council, that this project is on your agenda. I know there's some residents that live in that area that have expressed some concern to you for a number of years. We'd just like to say, Stockyard Road is it's an evolving thoroughfare. And as you look at it, you are now seeing houses along that way. So it's more than just a drainage ditch. So it's sidewalk, but it is, in the next 3 to 5 years, when you go down Stockyard Road, it's going to be very different. But this project will help us make it look even better. And so we recommend approval and recommend Parker Engineering be awarded.
All right, thank you. Any discussion by council?
Amen.
Absolutely.
It's a growing area, and it's really gratifying, particularly with areas that have previously been underserved. Some of the neighborhoods in our city that have not gotten attention through the years. It's wonderful that we're playing catch up and making it more livable. So thank you to staff and thank you to Wes Parker. Looking forward to it.
Thank you. Anything else? No. Seeing that there's none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second? All those in favor? Aye. Moving on to agenda item 13, which is consideration of a motion to approve a change order with RTC Incorporated for the STM-36 Lake Sound Stormwater Detention Project in the amount of $85,130.70 to be funded by 2013 SPLOST funds. Mr. Penny.
Mayor and members of the council, again, this is a big project that we've been working on for a while. And there's a structure in that, on that dam that is failing and we need to replace it. And this is my ability to use an engineering term we have to put a coffer down. And so this is why this change order is up, and so we recommend approval.
All right, thank you, Mr. Benny. Any discussion by council?
You can highlight that there's some solar powered technology being used in this too. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
All right, any further discussion? All right, is there a motion to approve? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Move on to agenda item 14, consideration of a motion to approve change order number 4 in the amount of $87,546 to Southern Civil LLC for the blower and pump upgrades project at the wastewater treatment plant to be paid for with operating and ATC funds included in the project budget WTP-24. Mr. Petty.
I can't add anything there. We recommend approval.
A good deal. Anything from council? All right, seeing that there's none, is there a motion to approve? Is there a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Move on to agenda item 15, other business from city council. Is there any other business from city council?
Mr. Mayor, I'd just like to take this opportunity to highlight that Restoring the Breach and LaShae Campbell will be sponsoring a health and wellness, excuse me, a wellness fair at the building at Fair Road, Honeybowen. I think it's 10 to 1 on Saturday, so folks are encouraged to come out, take advantage of some free resources to help us maintain our health and wellness.
Anything else from council? Okay, I do want to take the opportunity to give Dr. Mitchell her flowers. They had an amazing event this weekend, balling in the park. That was an amazing situation. So we want to tip our hat to them and just all the wonderful things that they're doing with our young people in our community. We want to go back to city managers.
I'm sorry, one more. Major, I can't remember his name, pilot from Vietnam. He is part of a thing called Thrill the First Fight.
Yeah.
For children, and it's happening this weekend. October 11th, 3rd grade and 12th grade, free flights, everything's free except for the food. Flight simulators if you don't want to go up. But anyway, I'll leave this up here. It's got a little scan code, and I would ask Lane, can we put that on our city website one more time this week? Up there, remind folks. This is a very good program.
One correction, I think he told us last time because they had folks who registered and didn't show up and they wasted some opportunities last year. This year they are asking for a $10 hold your place when you go online and register. But then when you get there, that $10 can be used towards food. So it's free, but they want you to pay $10 to hold your place.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay. Anything else from council? All right, we'll go down to city manager comments.
Mayor, members of the council, I do have a number of items that just want to bring to your attention. The first item, just wanted to express that I've had the opportunity to meet the new county manager, Chris Eldridge. He actually started work yesterday in Bullock County, and so this afternoon at 4:30 they're going to have a reception. So just publicly say that they're going to have a reception for Chris Eldridge with the county annex, and so extend that invitation to you as well. Mayor and council, some of you may remember, I know I received an anonymous letter, and the only thing about receiving anonymous letters, we don't have an opportunity to go back to the citizen to let them know what if anything going on, and just simply say to any citizen, we understand that you're concerned, and some people do not pay any attention to anonymous letters, but that is not the way we approach the business of the city. So this morning, I just wanted to share that the anonymous letter called out some code compliance issues, and I think it's just really important to recognize that even with code compliance, the city has to follow due process. We don't just go out and tear down buildings without following the process, because if we do, then we're going to be in violation of the law. We're going to get ourselves in trouble. even if someone has vehicles that are not operating, we have to give them notice. And so we've notified a number of property owners, and sometimes they fall through the cracks because we only have 2 code compliance officers and we have 16 square miles of city limits. But 2 particular places I just want to call out. There's a building over on Donahoe Street. It's a dental office. And they wanted to call that out. So they'd like to have it torn down. Well, again, there's a process, and we can follow that process. However, in the case of the city of Statesboro, we are not able to just go and tear that down because there's some other entities, probably the state or federal entities that are involved. So we have to allow the bids to finish their process before we can even begin ours. And the property may actually be auctioned off. And so once it's auctioned off, we will notify the property owners of the compliance issues that we have. Believe me, we don't like eyesores in our community as well. And then on the west side of the city, there's a house that's been burned out for about, I think it's about 3 years ago. I remember it was coming toward a holiday. And we've been in contact with the property owner. We are moving forward with code compliance. However, the city council doesn't order the demolition. We go through the court process and we follow the court process. And so we're in that stage where we notify the property owner and we will certainly take care of removing some of these eyesores. And so I just wanted, since it was anonymous, I just want to let folks know we don't ignore anonymous complaints. No, we take them very seriously. Other thing I just want to call out to you, in the FYI packet, we have notified the school board and the county about some property that's owned by the city. I may call it North Main Street. It's our transfer station. That property is not inside the city limits, but it can be in the city, and our interest is having that property annexed into the city. We've been in discussions with the county, and since we just purchased 34 more acres to go along with the transfer station, and so we'll be bringing that forward to the mayor and council, and like I said, we seem to be moving forward with the county. The county does own part of the transfer station, so this really is in partnership with the county, and so just want to make you aware of that. We are moving forward with our United Way campaign this year, and again, very proud of our city employees. Last year, the city of Statesboro led the community in the United Way campaign, and I think on the 22nd of October, we will be kicking off our United Way campaign. Chief Tim and Ms. Cindy West are our chair and co-chair for our campaign this year. And so they've got some work to do because last year Chief Mike showed them how to do it. We raised over $50,000, and so they got their work cut out for them. But we're gonna have lunch for our employees and hopefully get folks signed up so we can continue doing good work in the community. Thank y'all for your support on that. And then also in the FYI packet, we put a sample ballot, city clerk sent a sample ballot out. Obviously, the election is November 4th, and the mayor and council, so we'll leave that one alone. But I do want to take this opportunity to mention 2 things that are on the ballot. One is a referendum in relations to FLOSS. That's a floating local option sales tax. Again, we can't campaign for that, but we just want the public to understand the importance of, if they vote to support FLOSS, what that would actually do for them. What that will actually do will add one more percentage to our sales tax. Right now, I think it's 8%. So we go to 9%. And what that will allow the city to do, and the county to do, and all the other communities in the county, if approved by the voters, that will allow us to reduce our property tax. And in the case of the city of Statesboro, we would be able to reduce our property tax, which is 8.65 right now. We would be able to reduce it by $3.4 million. So the floss is trying to reduce the burden on the property owner. And so the county would actually receive about 15 million, we would receive 3.4 million. So if you look at 3.4 million, you're talking about reducing our tax rate from 8.625, and it would go down about 3 mills. 1 mill in the city will generate $1.1 million, so you're talking about 3.4, so you'd be able to bring it down, so from 8.625 to 5 mills. So we want to, and again, if they approve it, they will begin collecting the money in January of 2026. The first disbursement of those funds would be in July 2027. So just also need for citizens to understand, it's not going to be an immediate thing as far as reducing that millage rate, but by July of 2027, it really would help at that point. And then the other one is East Floss, and that would help with the school system and the construction of the schools in our county, and that is on the ballot as well. So those are two initiatives that are on the ballot. And Mayor, members of the council, that concludes my remarks.
All right, good deal. Thank you, Mr. Penny. We'll go down to agenda item 17, public comments. We have 3 folks signed up. First is Mrs. Samira Adams.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Samir Adams. I am a restaurant owner here, Antoinette's Cafe. If you haven't been there, you can check it out. So I'm coming before you guys today because we were planning 2 events, and we went through all of the necessary steps for approval and all of the planning procedures. However, we came to a hard stop because the ordinance within the city limits, I believe, prohibits I think it's a public gathering, or we wanted to close the street. We're gonna have like a block closing on MLK right near our restaurant. And it exceeds the hours. I think the hours cap off at 8, but we were looking for something to kind of go on after homecoming to kind of have an area where we could have a gathering. Everyone's isolated to one area, and we wanted to extend it to after the game. I think the game is somewhere around 10. I don't know, 9, 10 o'clock. But just having a gathering there. There's not any residents there in that area that we're looking to block, but we were hoping that we can have it or at least hold it until midnight. And everything is in place as far as cleanup committee. We're working with law enforcement for officers to be there at the openings or the closing of the streets. We have all of these things put in place, but the only way that we can have it approved is if you guys see fit to lift the ordinance at that time for this specific event. This is not our only event that we had planned. We wanted to do something also for Halloween. So I wanted to bring that before you again because I think the next meeting is the 21st and it would be too close to actually organizing this event. So I'm here to see if you guys will do that for us.
Okay. And so in a space like this right here, because the ordinance already lays out what the rules are, we would turn it over to staff, let staff take a look at it, and then allow them to follow up, okay?
Okay. One is scheduled for the 18th, which is a Saturday.
Okay.
Hopefully you guys look at it. I don't want to push, but sooner than later, just so that we can go about planning and putting out necessary information. And we have to pay for certain things, so the safety piece. So we'll have those funds set aside, and we know to calculate those hours. Okay?
No problem.
So then you guys will be back in touch with me.
We'll turn it over to staff.
Okay.
The staff will be following.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That's it for me.
Where's your restaurant?
193. Hold on. 193 West Main Street.
Oh, at the Faulkner Road.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
beautiful place.
Yes. Thank you.
And the food is good.
Yes, it is. That's right. All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Samir. All right. So next we have Marshall Webster for our next speaker.
Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Ms. McCullough, as you know, I recently obtained your employment records from Georgia Southern University, where you were employed from March 6th of 2017 to July 12th of last year, 24. on which day you suddenly tendered your letter of resignation. In your podcast last week, you offered a lengthy explanation of why you resigned, stating that you were offered a position at New Georgia Project, a 501c3 founded by Stacey Abrams, funded by George Soros, and at the time headed by your friend Francis Johnson, who has since been forced out of that organization for financial misconduct and sexual harassment. Last I checked, New Georgia Project is now essentially defunct. At the time you became employed at New Georgia Project as a, quote, senior field strategist, it was public knowledge that the organization was being investigated for election fraud in connection to the 2018 gubernatorial run of Stacey Abrams by both federal and state authorities. New Georgia Project has since had to pay a record $300,000 fine for this malfeasance. Yet in your podcast, you denied any knowledge of, quote, what happened 6 years ago, thus asking the good people of Statesboro to believe that you went to work for this corrupt organization, not knowing they were being investigated. Further, you even bragged in your podcast in your position as a senior field strategist, you registered 70,000 people to vote. Now think about this. You bragged about registering 70,000 people to vote for an organization that is under investigation not only for election fraud and Stacey Abrams' 2018 gubernatorial run, but also for paying mules to stuff ballot drop-off boxes in the stolen 2020 presidential election. You might want to tell your buddies over there at New Georgia Project to get a good lawyer. I hear the FBI is looking into it real close. So, Mr. McCullough, you want the good people of Statesboro to believe that you quit a cushy $62,000 a year job at Georgia Southern without notice to go to work for a crooked organization that was not only under investigation, but was chaired by a man who in 2017 was forced out of the NAACP for financial corruption. You're either lying or you have an incredibly poor judgment, to put it politely. Now, add to this the funny business you have been involved in regarding city contracts without a proper bidding process, and the obvious incompetence of you and your city manager evinced by increased property taxes. And one thing is clear, you are unfit to be sitting in that chair. By the way, I noticed that you signed his pay records.
3 minutes.
All right, and you went to work there at Human Resources at New Georgia Project a month after he got there. Y'all might want to address that. It looks bad.
Please. Please. All right. Next we have Mr. Raymond Harrison.
It's Raymond Harris. There's no son on it.
Yes, senior on the
I'm sorry, I wrote it wrong.
Oh, it's okay. How's everybody doing, Council? How you doing, Mr. Mayor? I'm a ordained minister, so I just want to start off with the word as I always stand on. When the righteous are authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, they mourn. I've been hearing a lot of mourning out there for people that talk to me about you, Mr. Mayor. And it's sad to hear. But when you went on your podcast, your rants, you talked bad about me. You even questioned my employment with the Bullitt County Sheriff Department. So I'm here to address that. I'm a veteran. I'm a disabled veteran, 100% permanent total. But I can still work and I can still serve. But in 2017, I had a lot of issues. I worked more than 4 months. So get your facts straight. Don't lie on a man you don't know. And you don't know me. We know each other in passing. I don't have a problem with you. We're two black men going in two different directions, serving our people. I've served at the federal level. You served as the state. But we both want what's right for our people. And when I say all people, I mean everyone. not just the people that look like us. So understand, when you come at me with the truth. Don't have half-truths. Don't say I worked there 4 months and you don't know what you're talking about. But I just want you to know, there's nothing but utmost respect for the position. But when a man says something he don't understand or know about and attack a veteran that served and got injured for his country and signed on the dotted line up to his life, and I've lost friends. So it hurts me personally. Now, I worked also at Franklin Chevrolet, and if you want to go there and talk to them, you can. And I left that job abruptly for my injuries. But I'm welcome to work there anytime, as well as if I wanted to go back to the sheriff's department. So my injuries are many, but I serve in spite of. I hope you understand that. I hope you have a better understanding of that. So please, don't attack a veteran for his service. That's all I have to say to you.
Any other public comments?
Good morning, Mayor, City Council, and City Manager. John, thank you for bringing up the first flight. As of last Thursday, we have 150 kids signed up to do the first flight, so we are pretty close at capacity for that. But the other reason I wanted to talk today was to bring up the fact that Habitat for Humanity, in conjunction with First Methodist Church, has got our pumpkin patch over there. This is a fundraiser for Habitat. You can get pumpkins from small ones to very big ones, and just want to let the community know that that money will go to Habitat for Humanity. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comments?
Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry. I looked at my calendar and I want to go ahead and put a heads out that the Arbor Day Foundation will be celebrated here on Friday the 24th. It's a couple of weeks out. But again, this year in conjunction with the Food Bank, the Tree Board and KSVB and other local organizations devoted to promoting trees and the good health that they bring, will be sponsoring an event from 3 to 6, Friday the 24th, and you can come and support that and get a free tree. So if you need a tree in your yard, you must put it on your calendar. There'll be a couple of events coming up soon where free trees will be made available to folks in Statesboro and also Bullock County. So the next one is the 24th, Friday the 24th, 3 o'clock at the Food Bank. Bring a can of food and come attend. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Any other public comments? All right, seeing that there's none, we'll move down to agenda item 18. Is there a need for executive session?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
State and personal.
Okay, good. All right. Consideration of a motion to enter into executive session to discuss personnel and real estate in accordance with OCGA 50-14-3B. Is there a motion to go into executive session?
So
Is there a second? All those in favor? Aye.